So with the details done in the eye, I'll start doing a little more refining in the nose. I like to get the eyes and nose done because those tend to attract most attention. A little more shadow under here. And refining a few more darks. Still dipping into that same mixture of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And even though this line might go dark to the edge, I'll not do that so that it just doesn't create a really harsh line going out there to the side of the painting. And now I can go into a mixture of burnt sienna with just a touch of my black that I've created with the ultramarine blue and the burnt sienna. So I use a little bit of that black with my Pyro Red. And if it doesn't seem to be quite the right color, I'll add burnt sienna to it a little bit more. This is just to give some of the darker red colors. I basically work around the painting dark to light. Easiest to work with the paint that way, but also it's gives a good structure to the painting as I'm working along. Keeps it kind of looking good all along rather than jumping around with a bunch of different colors and values. And because I'm working with colors that are basically the same value as the colors below them, it doesn't really show that much. In almost all the cases, I'm dealing with a color that's already on the canvas. Next, I go to a slightly lighter color. I've pre-mixed all my colors, which I always do. Sometimes I do it as I'm going along, but just for speed here, I've pre-mixed them, just so I can keep the camera rolling. And you see, I will do a few strokes and then back to the palette. Just a couple of strokes and then I go back to the palette to keep my paints clean. Here they're not going to pick up anything underneath except the burnt sienna, but in some areas they will pick up other colors. So you need to go back and go into the paint again. And if there's already still a little bit of the linseed oil on my brush, or in the paint I've been working around in, I don't need to add more. If not, if the paint isn't flowing off the brush really smoothly, I will touch it in the linseed oil again and go again. And in some cases where I see a color change, if it's the same value, This color is a little bit of the black mixture with a touch of brown added, but some of the white. So I might just dip into that because it's a gray, but it's got some brown in it, so it's not going to be too big a change. Just moving around the painting. Anywhere I see a color that's a little bit lighter than what I've previously done, I'll just pop it in there. The main is going to be lighter, but I want to mix up a little bit of a bluer. Actually, I've got some mixed. I'll come to that in a bit. And because I'm kind of working around the whole painting, if I was to put something in that really didn't fit value-wise, it would show up quickly. This is a small painting, so I'm kind of able to lean on my easel and on the edges. If not, I would probably be using my maul stick to balance my hand. And time to switch to a slightly lighter color. Each time I switch, I'll pick up a new brush because it's easy to keep my colors clean that way. Plus, then I've got the other brush if I need to go back. So my paints don't get muddy and my brushes don't get all muddied up. Just working my way around the painting. And I think I will use the same brush to pick up a brown at the same value, or a similar value. Sometimes it's nice to just inject some really bright colors. Just throw in, dip the brush into a red or yellow and just throw in some really bright colors. Just A little fun and variation. As long as they're a similar value, they're going to sit in there nicely, and it's very easy for me to change them with my pre-mixed color since I've got it right here. The most important thing all along is the values. You want your values to read correctly. And sometimes we just need a little bit of the brown color back in there. I usually get 1 or 2 layers on this, or well, I guess it's 2 or 3 layers because I've done my first scrub in, and then I can add 1 or 2 more after that. Much more than that and you'll start to get into mud. I hadn't pre-mixed that brighter orangish color, and I am so much happier when I've got a color pre-mixed, so I'm just going to quickly mix up a little bit of that so I can touch into it once in a while. So I apply my paint in strokes with this soft flat brush, and when I can I like to just leave the stroke. It just adds kind of a freshness if you can leave it alone. I'm going to put some of a gray blue in here, but I want to make sure there's enough brown that it doesn't stand out too much. Let's go around here a little bit.